All right, guys. UFC 327 has just happened. The card was stacked from start to finish, and luckily we were able to see pretty much everything there. That was an amazing card.
Yeah, pretty amazing card. I'll just say there was a couple of disappointments for sure,
Yeah,
but there was also some fights that were among the best I've seen like ever,
yeah,
to say the least. There was some really good moments here. So a lot to unpack here, to be honest.
yeah. Historically significant. I'd say about two fights on there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Starting off with the last fight on the prelims being really the only noteworthy one. It was Aaron Pico versus Patricio Pitbull. That's what it was.
Yes, sir.
And Pico was giving an absolute masterclass with his boxing. They both came from Bellator, which was intriguing to
Mhm.
just see like, oh, how does this fare in the UFC, even though it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But Patricio's kind of getting older, Pico's got that crisp boxing. He's still on the younger side. It's a good fight.
Yeah, so Patricio Pitbull had, pretty good run in Bellator, but I think he is like 38 or something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah,
And he was ranked 13, I believe, going into this fight, and Aaron Pico's unranked. So I'm not sure where this puts Aaron Pico after this, but I mean, just complete domination, man, like from start to finish. Unanimous decision on that fight. So really good for Aaron Pico, and it's exciting to see where he could go next after this.
yeah. It would be an interesting mix-up for the top of the featherweight division. I believe that was featherweight, right? That's going to be real interesting to see how his boxing. He has supposedly pretty good wrestling too. How it all fits in the top of the division. That's a pretty
Mm,
stuck in the mud division because of what Alex Volkanovski did. He's just been
yeah.
holding it up. But moving on, up next was the first fight of the main card.
Yeah, Cub Swanson and Nate Landwehr,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
that was pretty sick because that was Cub Swanson's retirement fight, and he really dominated, bro.
Yeah,
Really.
bro. I mean, it was
And
that was beautiful to see him go out like that. It was
yeah,
emotional. I remember watching this guy back in the WEC. Nate,
yeah,
he was the unlucky sheep
yeah.
sent to slaughter for the night. But
The
I
sacrificial lamb, you could say.
exactly. But it's
Yeah,
just that was what more of a beautiful fight and wake
yeah,
to go out could you have had than that, dude? I was like getting emotional watching that.
yeah. And Cub Swanson, dude, he's been doing this for 22 years, and like you said, he was in the WEC, I think, starting back in
Mm-hmm.
2007.
Yep.
So really a vet, really early on. And like I remember he knocked out Charles Oliveira back in 2012. Like that's so long ago.
Dude,
So
right?
I mean, just quite like what a career. And Nate Landwehr, I'm not too familiar with,
Same here.
but I mean, also a vet. It just
Yeah.
sucks he had to be in this fight, which
True.
they probably just like sent him in there. I don't know. I wasn't too, like I said, I wasn't too familiar with him, but regardless, masterclass from Cub Swanson. So it's really cool
Yeah.
to see.
Great way to go out. Moving on, we
Yeah,
had Johnny Walker versus Dominic Reyes. I mean, that
yeah.
when you hear that, it just sounds like, even though yes, they both got glass chins, hearing that you're just like, oh wait, maybe Dominic might be able to pull back a bit of what he did to John Jones. Maybe Johnny's gonna do some crazy stuff like he did back in the day, throw like a spinning heel kick or a flying knee. No,
Yeah.
that's not how it went at all.
Well, let's just say this. If you didn't watch it, you didn't miss anything. It
Yeah,
was one of the most boring fights I've ever seen in my life. If you ever
agreed.
saw Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis, it was like on par with that.
Reminiscent of
Really.
that, yeah,
Nothing happened the whole time. Like it was just kind of felt like both of them were scared and holding back a little bit.
yeah.
I actually thought Johnny Walker might have edged like won
Me
like
too. I did think that. Yeah,
by a little bit. But and I
doesn't even
actually like
doesn't
I'm a
even
fan
matter.
of. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Like I'm a fan of Dominic Reyes, so it was,
Yeah,
kind of upsetting that that fight didn't go. It just no one went at it, bro. It was just weird.
yeah.
Not
There
what I
there was
expected
like
at
a
all.
collective maybe. I think looking at the stats after there was like a collective 40 punches or 40 strikes thrown or something like that throughout the whole fight.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my, that was
yeah,
the hardest watch. I remember we were watching it live. I actually
yeah,
remember we were falling asleep watching that fight. I almost fell asleep.
yeah. I know. And you had like you had Daniel Cormier talking about, oh yeah, his wife made me some chicken pot pie at his
Yeah.
house at one time or
His
something. I'm like,
signature
dude,
random story.
yeah, dude, and we're out here in the middle of a fight with two killers, in the
Yeah.
past, and we're talking about chicken pot pie. That's pretty crazy. But even the other commentators, I think Joe Rogan was saying this is a snooze fest.
Oh
It really
yeah.
was. Like us saying it doesn't really do it justice. It's definitely one of the more one of the least entertaining fights I've seen. So you didn't miss much if you missed that one.
Thankfully.
Now the next fight though, Josh Hockett and Curtis Blades.
Oh yeah. Performance of the
One of the
night.
greatest fights. One of the greatest fights I've ever seen. Probably the best heavyweight fight I've seen.
I'd say
Like it was.
definitely the best heavyweight fight
Yeah.
I've ever seen. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
start to finish, that fight was straight fireworks. That gave
Yeah.
me hope for the MMA community again, dude.
Yeah,
You know?
especially the heavyweight division, which has been lacking lately. But
Yeah.
one thing especially because Curtis Blades ranked number 5. Josh Hockett just coming in his third UFC fight, right? And
Insane.
this is a guy
Yeah.
who's started out as I didn't know this. He started out as a NFL player. I don't think he played any games. I think he was just on the practice squad.
Yeah.
But following those dreams, then he switched over to MMA, I believe in 2023,
Yep.
and I think he was 8-0 going into this. 2-0 in the UFC, I think so. Him to just come in swinging like this, bro, and with the antics too, like he was like flipping him off every 10 seconds, which was weird. I was
Dude,
like,
the amount of times he did
wasn't,
that, it was
yeah,
ridiculous. He like literally would just marched forward. Like it was basically
yeah,
how it happened was the fight started, he just ran at him. Not like actually, he basically the whole fight he marched at him, flipped him off, and then he would just start swinging, full throttle. And Curtis
yeah,
wasn't going to get him down. Curtis has basically had the mentality during the fight of, I'm not a bitch, and was just like I'm going to stand here and bang with him. And that fight was
yeah.
insane because of it.
Yeah, and like it was really back and forth throughout the whole thing,
Yeah.
especially in that first round. There was like multiple occasions where I thought Curtis Blades was done. Like he, lost his stance a little bit. Like he
Yeah.
looked like he was about to fall back, but and then Curtis went at him too, and like just like punching the hell out of him. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. In the first minute or so, he's like all bloody, blood all over. He's getting blood all over his back. Josh Hockett's back. Like it's crazy. Like so much blood just at the beginning, bro. But just a brawl, bro. Like it was. Yeah, if y'all haven't seen it yet, you need to go watch it for
For
real because
sure.
that was a beautiful fight, and that's what the UFC is all about. So I
Exactly. It
don't know
was
if
it
you
was
have
a
anything on
war.
that.
It was something that was great and beautiful to witness, and it gives me, a lot of stuff to look for. It gives everyone a lot of stuff to look forward
Yeah,
to for heavyweight and hopefully people like that just coming in the UFC in general.
yeah,
We
dude.
love
And
that.
like he came in and he was like, I didn't even know this guy, you know, and he comes
Yeah.
in and at the end he's calling out Alex Pereira. He's comes in with all these antics and like at first you're like you see that it's a guy you don't know that's like not even ranked. You're like,
Yeah.
bro, what are you doing?
Hmm.
Coming at Curtis Blades, a dude that fought for the title not too long ago. Like that's crazy, bro. But he backed it up, so you can't even hate on that at that point.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting to see what's next for him. And we got he's a young up and comer in the heavyweight division, which is something that division really needs. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be really
Well,
cool.
that was heavyweight, and then the next fight was light heavyweight, which was out of the ordinary for the guy who was in that, which was Paulo Costa versus
Yeah,
what was the other guy's name?
as a Matt Mirzakhanov.
Azamat. So I thought,
Yeah,
maybe bias, maybe the fact that I just don't know the guy. I thought Paulo was gonna maybe steamroll through him, completely flip me on
yeah,
my head. Paulo first off looked huge for the division. Like he's a big light heavyweight. It makes you wonder how he ever made middleweight. Dude is giant.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
and that dude Azamat just came forward and they were brawling nonstop the entire time. There were times where I
Hmm.
thought Paulo was about to get knocked out. I was like, oh, screaming. I was like, this dude's about to get KO'd. Like I would have never seen that coming. And
Yeah,
complete
yeah,
flip of the script towards the end there.
yeah. And I wasn't too familiar with Mirzakhanov,
Same, yeah.
but I think he was 16-0 going into that fight.
Oh,
So
true.
yeah, no, wasn't sure what to expect there, but I mean, I felt like in the second round he might have won, and it looked like the odds were going into his favor. Like he had it, and then right at the end, beginning to middle of round three, Paulo Costa hits him with a head kick, and then dude just kind of gave up, bro. He
Yeah,
lost his balance, but he just like voluntarily he just fell, and
that's
he
kind
was
of how
just
that
kind of
went. Yeah, he basically
it
took
just
it and just like
yeah
wobbling, just fell back, gave up. I
yeah
was like, that's enough for me.
yeah
They're gassed, you know.
yeah yeah. He was done after that, but shout out Mirzakhanov too. That was a great performance, but really
For
Paulo
sure.
Costa, man,
Oh, dude, we all
just
love him,
coming
dude. Like the
yeah
greatest personality in MMA, I'd say right now. I mean,
yeah, definitely one of them for
definitely
sure.
one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not as much as the next guy though, who
Oh
just
yeah. Oh
unfortunately
no,
lost. Um,
no.
we had Yuri Prohaska and Carlos Olberg,
Yeah,
and that was some really interesting things happen in this. This is the main fight right here,
yeah,
and damn, bro, not what we expected at all.
yeah.
Um,
Try not to show bias
and
because
yeah,
let's be real.
yeah,
Everybody loves Yuri. Like you can't not like the
yeah,
dude. He is a character. He is a unique person all around. His
yeah,
fighting style, his methods of training, I guess you could call them. Everything he does in and out of the octagon is impressive and just goofy and funny. Like we all love it. He's a warrior,
yeah,
like he claims to be. He is one, you know. But
mm-hmm,
unfortunately, that did not go his way. He also went out like a warrior in this fight.
mm-hmm,
Was swinging, a little too wildly. Carlos happened to stand on his back foot, I think, to throw a cross or something, and you could
mm,
see his like ACL tear. You could see something in his knee tear, and it was brutal looking.
yeah,
That's when we were watching. We're
yeah,
like, oh, dude, that's all she wrote. That like he's done
yeah,
for. Yuri's just gonna. But Yuri did look like he started to lay off the gas a little bit. In my
yeah,
opinion, I will say like Carlos obviously, and a lot of people are like, oh, dude, he's just that's cope. But
yeah.
you know,
It did look like he okay. So Olberg gets hurt, very visibly. They replayed it and everything. And Yuri kind of points and he's like, let's just stand up.
yeah,
He's giving him mercy a little bit. He's like, let's stand up. I don't
yeah,
want to injure you further. Like, he's a good guy. He's trying to, he thought Olberg was done. He didn't want to make it, he didn't want to just like kill him while he's down like that, but
exactly.
you know, he did let his foot off the gas a little bit, and Oberg took that. You guys could say he took that kindness for weakness, which
Yeah,
you
for
can't
sure.
have any. You can't show mercy in the octagon, and that's a lesson. That's what Yuri said at the end. He's like, "This is a lesson for me," and yeah. So I can see where Oberg was coming from, I guess, because Oberg went on social media and he was like, "Nah, like that was he was scared,"
Yeah.
like we said, like from watching it, it looked like he really did kind of like let back a little bit, which he
Hmm.
shouldn't have done. And I'm sure he really regrets that now.
True.
But
Dude's about to have a kid though. He's probably going through
yeah,
who knows what. It's like again, can't even picture that. On top of fighting,
yeah.
on top of a new
But
contender who
like,
nobody really knows much about. Well, I mean, not really at least.
shocking, bro. Like just in that moment where he got him, no one saw that. I didn't see that
No,
coming
not
at
at
all,
all.
bro.
Nobody did.
Like just out of nowhere, bro. Like I was pretty blown away, bro. Like you didn't even see. We posted our reaction to it.
Yeah.
Um, Insanity, bro. But yeah, he just went on and he was like, no, he was scared, and then he said like he's not gonna be anything. He's not gonna make it past Ankalaev, who he's probably next up to fight after this, Yuri.
Yeah,
Um,
unfortunately.
yeah, so hopefully we do see another title fight for Yuri.
Yeah.
I hope so, but
I hope so too.
he's definitely gonna have to make it past Ankalaev,
Yeah.
and
But
yeah, we'll see how that
I
goes.
forgot we didn't even say what happened was Yuri pressed him against the cage,
Yeah,
looking good for him, looking completely fine. You know, Carlos had just torn his ACL or whatever it was, and as he's pressing him against
yeah.
the cage, he has him in the corner. Carlos just throws out with all
I
his
don't think it was
hope,
ACL, but
well, some whatever it was,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
just throws out with all of his hope, like a left hook. You could see he's not even like
yeah. Just one
calculating with
hook,
it;
bro.
just throws
Yeah,
it out there, and it just
yeah.
clips
Hail Mary,
Yuri.
bro.
Yeah, Hail Mary,
Just
exactly.
clipped, bro. Just like one of the most to me it felt like a major upset, bro.
Yeah.
Really, it was just
Mhm.
like crazy to watch in real time. Um, but like just to summarize everything, bro, like just a really wild card, in total, everything,
Start to
you know.
finish.
Yeah, bro. I mean, just like highlights, bro, to look back on everything, like Cub Swanson, great career.
Yep.
It's the ultimate send off.
Beautiful.
Let me skip over this. Yeah, it's the
Nah.
ultimate send off. Nate Landwehr, the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
And then we got um Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker's no comment.
Yep.
Um Josh Hokett, bro. Up and coming. Really exciting.
Dude,
Paulo
pure
Costa did his
pure
thing.
excitement for the division. And yeah,
Yeah.
Paulo Costa just, being the eraser
Shout out to both fighters in that fight.
for sure.
And the last one, shout out Curtis Blades because he kept up. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we know how this went. Um, we'll see if Olberg maintains that. I don't know. See who
So I
comes up
mean,
to
I
challenge
guess
him.
yeah, like hats off to Olberich for getting it done, but it's gonna be interesting to see the matchups now. He
Yeah.
is some like pretty entertaining to watch, not as much as like someone like Yuri.
Mhm.
Excited for the potential matchups. I guess that's what I'll say.
Yeah. And like I said, I do hope Yuri gets back. I personally want to see a rematch of this.
Yeah,
That's just me.
same.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
It's probably not going to be an ultimate rematch.
for sure.
Yeah, but could be. We don't know.
But
We'll see.
who knows? On to the next, and hopefully the next one's even better.
Yes, sir.